Who wants to paint a cardinal? Let me get a decent sized brush here. I'm just gonna wet it just to straighten out the fibers a little bit. You don't want it wet. I'm just wanted to pull my fibers together. So I dried it on my cloth and I pull it out to the side. Okay. And I'm going to pick up this red. And because it's a cardinal, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to base coat the whole bird with this very deep red. It's actually cardinal red. So I want to follow the shape of his body. So the tail feathers are going to be long and to the diagonal. His belly feathers are going to be rounded. And then his crest is going to go up. And then we want to just paint around his mask here. Okay, I'm going to take my dirty brush and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add in black to his crest. So my dirty brush, and I came in here, yes, he goes off the page, but I pulled in some black to the crest, to his top. Okay, come back to my red and pick up a little bit of black, and now I'm going to easily and gently add some shading with the black down his tail. Let me fix my brush. Can pick up some red. Okay, then I'm going to load with red. I'm going to side load with black, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add this wing. Okay, see how my wing has a little bit of a dark edge to it? I'm going to pick up some more black and I'm going to add in some black here. Now birds are hard, y'all. That's why I start with a tracer. I'm using my brush upright on the chisel edge and I'm pulling in some shading in there. Okay, I'm going to fix my brush again. And I want to come under his belly, pick up a little bit of black and come under the belly and then up in here under his chest. But we want the bulk to be red. Okay. Then I am going to switch brushes. I'm going to go back to the small brush that I had from before. And we want his mask to be solid black. So I want to come up and curve and then follow this down and fill it in. Okay. And then wash my brush again. I need a little bit of orange, but not too much. Good, because I don't have too much. There we go. I'm gonna get my liner brush. And we're gonna paint in his beak. And the beak is like a diamond shape. Like a horizontal diamond shape. So it's on his side, it goes back into the mask a little bit, and then it comes out. Okay? Now, I said birds are hard, but really birds are all in the details. So I'm going to take a little bit of black and split his beak there a little bit. Okay? I'm going to take some white. I'm going to put some white on the top. Then I'm going to come over here where his eye is, and we're going to make a little bit of a backwards C. And then some little dots in here. Yeah, that looks like his eye. Okay? And then we're going to just come down here and we're going to add a tiny bit, not too much, of white for his feathers. And then I'm just going to come in here and gently pull in some white up the tail feathers. And we'll add some feet on here because he's not sitting on a branch. And I'm mixing a little bit of black with my red in my liner brush. I'm going to come in here and have a little bit more shading up in here. Almost like pulling in some feathers. I'm just doing little dabs of this red mixed with some black and pulling in, so you can see like there's the illusion of feathers being back here where the wing attaches. And there we have it. Let's learn to paint a female cardinal. You guys know in the bird world, the male birds are the pretty ones. So let's paint a female cardinal. Let me move you guys over here. I'm going to put some white on my brush and pick up some of this burnt umber. And we're going to come in here and I'm going to just fill in. I don't want to overmix my paint, but I have white and the burnt umber on my brush. And I'm just adding in, filling in, base coating in our bird here. For the face, I'm going to just fill in, I'm using the burnt umber on my brush, but I picked up a little bit more tan to lighten it up. So the face is not going to be as dark as the body. And I want my brush strokes to go the way of the face, to be a little bit rounded, come up here and round in here to make the difference. And then with my burnt umber and my white, base coating in, but not over mixing with the browns. Okay? So that's the first step. I'm going to pick up a little bit of white. I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to lightly brush in some white on the belly. Not too much. So now put a little bit of extra white over that belly. Now I'm going to come back to my brown, and all this time I'm not even washing my brush. I'm going to come back to brown only, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start stroking in the wing. So this part is going to be a little bit darker, and I'm stroking in the wing. Okay. Now I'm going to pick up brown and some red. I'm going to mix them both on my brush. Brown and red. And I'm going to use my brush on the chisel edge. And I'm going to start adding in little bits of red down here on the tail with the brown. I want this part to be darker, and I'm pulling up, and then we want these parts to be redder underneath, and I'm pulling in to the wing. Okay, at the top of the wing a little bit darker brown, the bottom of the wing a little bit more red. And I am using my brush on the chisel edge. I'm not washing it, and I'm pulling up. We want these to be separate strokes. You want to see the difference in the feathers. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing with the brown and the red down here on the tail. Sometimes just brown, sometimes just red. Okay? I'm going to pick up a little bit of this black, just a little bit. I kind of want to brush it off. I'm mixing with the brown. Again, same brush, a little bit black. And I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to add a little bit of shading underneath the neck. Like we added a little bit of the white to the top, a little bit of shading in here. I'm using the corner of the brush. I got some darker paint on here, and I'm adding in some shading. Okay. And again, a little bit darker feathers up here. A lot of chisel work. This is the chisel of the brush. A lot of chisel work goes into painting into the bird. Not so much on the flat. Now I'm going to dip my corner in the black. And I'm just going to add some black tips down here to the end of his wing. I'm going to go back in here to the brown. If you want to switch brushes, you can. Maybe I will switch brush. I'm going to go into my liner brush now because we're going to do the head. I have this dark color up in here, which I mix with the black. And I want to kind of bring it in here and make a mask. You know how the male cardinal has a mask? Our female cardinal has a mask too. It's just not as prominent or black. So I fill that in there. Then I'm going to use the back of my brush, and we're going to give her an eye. Okay. I'm going to pick up some of my orange here, which is a little... I went and grabbed a little bit of water. My orange was a little dry. Get a beacon. Okay. And I'm going to go back to my brown. And we're going to start working on the crest. And I'm pulling in little brown strokes one at a time up into the crest of the bird's head. Then I'm going to come back to my red again with my dirty brush and start pulling in some red over the brown to the crest. Okay. A little bit back here. And now I have some tan and some burnt sienna, and I'm just adding a few light strokes, blending in and following the shape and the curve of the bird's face, all the while using my little liner brush. If you want to use a bigger brush, if you need a bigger brush, that's fine. Use the brush that you're comfortable with. I'm going to put a little white in there as well. Going around the eye. Ooh. Lots of browns, burnt sienna, and tans going on with our Mama Cardinal here. Okay, I'm going to pick up a little bit of white. I have to wash my brush. I'm going to get behind the eye, in front of the eye, and then we want to put a little dot in the eye. We're going to put a little bit of a highlight on top of the beak. We're going to put a little bit of a shadow on top of the beak. All right. We're going to give our bird some little feet. Okay, right underneath his belly there. And then I just want to blend in a little bit more of this brown up in here in his crown. Or her crown. It's the female, right? So I'm doing a mixture of the tan and the dark brown and the burnt sienna and light strokes, feather looking, and filling it in. Just want white up in here, and then tan around. Ooh, and there we go. There is our female cardinal. I have a male cardinal here too somewhere. Let me grab him. So here's our male and our female. Thank you.